Hello ladies and gentlemen, Orcshead Chris here, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Deck Tech today. We'll command my Commander Mono Black Demon deck. This is a deck that I've held close to my heart. It's the very first Commander deck I've built. It's gone through so many transitions over the years, and it's sort of one I hope you guys will quite enjoy having a look at as well. The idea of the deck is to punish your opponent with demons, abilities and all that, and it gives you sort of abilities as well, and also you've got lots of stuff sort of get them back out of your graveyard and back on the field very quickly as well. So without further ado, my commander that I run is of Nixilis the Fallen, which is 3 mana, 2 black. He's a demon, 3/3. His landfall trigger: whenever a land enters the battlefield, you have your opponent lose 3 life. If you do, you get to put 3 1/1 counters on him. So he's a drainer. He does very amount of damage. Some of the landfall triggers are very powerful with him on the field. You can sort of, even if you get a land, coming into your land, you can still sap him of health really quickly and really nicely. So the creatures that sort of make this deck, the main ones are Nixilis Unshackled, which is 4 mana, 2 black, legendary creature demons. It's a 4/4 with fly and trample, and whenever an opponent searches his or her library, that player sacrifices a creature and loses 10 life. And when another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on a Nixilis Unshackled. So basically, it forces your opponent, if he sort of searches his library, he's got to sack a creature or lose 10 life. That is really nasty very quickly, especially if someone who needs to pull out a lot of stuff in his deck very quickly. So the next one sort of run as well in conjunction with him is Reaper from the Abyss, which is 3 mana, 3 black, a demon, and he's a 6/6 and has flying, and he has a morbid ability. At the beginning of each step, if a creature dies this turn, destroy target non-demon creature. So suddenly you can kill creatures with this on the field very quickly, especially in a multiplayer game. When you've got them 3 or more, this triggers at the end of turn, and it can do a lot of damage very quick. Bear in mind, if there's no other creatures and you control a non-demon creature, you have to destroy your non-demon creature. But other than that, usually, but when he comes out, you have all your demons out and very little non-demons that you need, so you can sacrifice one very quickly. The other one that I run is Lord of the Void, which is 4 mana, 3 black. He's a demon with flying, and he's a 7/7, and his ability is whenever Lord of the Void deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 7 cards, and then you can put a creature card among them on the battlefield under your control. Again, sapping your opponent of deck life, card draws, and getting his having a chance of getting his best creature out as possible. Does them a lot of damage very quickly. The other one I sort of run is Abhorrent Overlord, which is a demon, 6/6. He has flying. He's 5 mana, 2 black, and yeah, when a Abhorrent Overlord enters the battlefield, put a number of 1/1 black hybrid creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield equal to your devotion to black. So suddenly, if you've got a lot of devotion, this can get very stupid very quickly. The only downside is at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the creature. So you've got to keep creatures on that you can either sacrifice to keep him on, but for a 6/6, he is very powerful, gets a lot of creatures very quickly. The other punishment cards I sort of that's main critical to this deck is Archfiend of Depravity, which is 3 mana, 2 black. He's a 5/4 with flying. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures he or she controls and sacrifices the rest. This keeps your opponent in check very quickly and does a lot of damage very quickly. This does not affect your side of the field, which is really nice. He's a very powerful card considering how much mana he is as well. So the other punishment that's sort of main is Pestilience Demon, which is 5 mana, 3 black. He's a 7/6 with flying, and then you can tap 1 black. Pestilience Demon deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. So suddenly he's a very good board wipe. He can wipe the full field very quickly. You could tap him and then deal some life drain on him. Just bear in mind it does affect your side of the field as well, so just keep that in mind as you do it. Just bear in mind you can kill him with his own ability as well. The other main sort of creature that I run that sort of helps you is Indulgent Tormentor, which is a flying of 5/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card unless the target opponent sacrifices a creature or pays 3 life. Very powerful. You can get 2 card draws, or you can make your opponent lose 3 life on sack a creature. So it does deal a lot of damage over the time. So there's sort of the main sort of creatures that are sort of considered to be the bulk of this deck. I do run some artifacts and enchantments with it. So the sort of ones that I sort of run is Planar Bridge, which is 6 mana. It's a legendary artifact, and you pay 8 mana, tap it, search your library for a permanent card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So you do this at the end of your opponent's step, get something like Lord of the Abyss, Abhorrent Overlord or something like that, and do a lot of damage very quickly with it. It is very nice, very strong card. The other one I sort of run is Unwas Elite, which is a legendary artifact, and this has several abilities. So when it deals combat damage, put 2 card counters on it, and then remove a charge counter from it, and you get to either equip a creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn, or you gain 2 life. So very handy for life gain, getting some annoying 1/1 creatures off the field. It does a lot of damage very quickly. You can build a lot of charge counters with this very quickly on this equipment. The other artifact I run is Demon's Horn. Is 2 mana. It's whenever a player plays a black spell, you may gain 1 life. So suddenly you can gain life very quickly with this, especially if your opponent's playing black as well. You can gain life off his abilities as well, because when he plays black spell, you gain the life as well. It does very powerful very quickly. So the other artifact I run is Bontu's Monument, which is legendary artifact, 3 mana. Black creature spells you cast get 1 less to cast, which is very handy. And it has a life. Whenever you cast a creature spell, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. So again, nice little life drain and gain. Especially if you get this earlier on, it does drain your opponent very quickly and very nastily. Other one I sort of artifact I run is sort of the Amethyst, 2 mana. It's a legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever an equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle your library. Good for siphoning out your deck. Good with Nixilis the Fallen, because you get another landfall trigger off it. It does a lot of damage very quickly. I've underestimated this card. This card has done very good in Commander, because suddenly you're getting a lot of your lands out, and suddenly you can do a lot of stuff very quickly because you have a lot of lands. Other sort of artifact I run is Ashnod's Altar, which is 3 mana. It has a mana cost of 0 and is for its ability, and it's sacrifice a creature, add 2 colourless mana to your mana pool, play this ability as an interrupt. Very handy for ramping up mana. You could sort of like sacrifice the Harpy to get with Abhorrent Overlord and get a really powerful demon out, or artifacts. Is very handy. It's a very handy card, especially earlier on, for getting mana ramp very quickly. So last artifact I run, other artifact I run is Jar of Eyeballs, which is 3 mana. Whenever a creature you control dies, put 2 eyeball counters on Jar of Eyeballs, and then it's got 3 mana, tap it, remove all eyeball counters from Jar of Eyeballs, look at the top X cards of the library, X is the number of eyeball counters removed this way. Put 1 of them into your hand, rest on the bottom library in any order. So good, say if you've got like 20 eyeballs, you can get 20, expire 20. It can build up very quickly with this, especially if creatures are dying very quickly and very powerfully. So the last artifact I run is Gauntlet of Power. As Gauntlet of Power ends battlefield, choose a colour, which is obviously black. Creatures of the chosen colour get +1/+1. Whenever you play a basic land is tapped for that mana of the chosen colour. Its controller add 1 mana colour to his mana pool. So suddenly you're tapping all your swamps for 2 mana. It is a very powerful mana ramp very quickly. This card can be quite dangerous. It means you can get sort of like Reaper the Ability Beast out turn 4 if you play your card. No, turn 6, sorry, because obviously it's 5 mana. It is very powerful. The only sort of enchantment that I've run is Bad Moon, and it's 1 mana, 1 black, and black creatures get +1/+1. It's an enchantment. Basically, as the title says it, all black creatures get +1/+1, including your opponent. Just keep in mind with this as you do play the game, so just make sure you don't sort of give him a card draw that he needs. So there's sort of the artifacts. I'm going to go to my finishers and sort of what I consider my finishers and board wipes. So firstly, we'll cover the 2 creatures that I'm often with board wipe. Demon of Dark Schemes, which is 3 mana, 3 black, so 5/5 flying. When Demon Dark Schemes enter the battlefield, all other creatures get -2/2 until end of turn. Whenever another creature dies, you get 1 energy, and then you pay 4 energy, 2 mana, 1 black, and then you can put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control tapped. Suddenly you can steal their creatures, or you can get your demons back. He's very powerful, especially as get rid of any little annoying creatures without dealing any damage very quickly. So the other creature board wipe I run is Deathbringer Regent. He's 5 mana, 2 black. He's a dragon, and when he enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand and then 5 or more other creatures, you destroy all other creatures. Very handy for board wipe. Just keep in mind how many creatures you've got on the field. Obviously, if the enemy's board's getting too stupid, you can play this and cause a board wipe. So the other final board wipe I run, which is sorcery, is Living Death, which is 3 mana, 2 black, sorcery, and it does each player exiles all creature cards from his or her graveyard, then sacrifices all creatures he or she controls, and put all the cards he or she exiles this way onto the battlefield. So basically, if you've got a lot of demons and that in your graveyard, you play this, you get them back all on the field. Just bear in mind, if your opponent's got a lot of creatures in the graveyard, he will gain them back as well. So I tend to run Torment's Crypt with this, and then if I do this and I then exile his library, so he gets nothing out of it. So finally, going to the final 2 cards, is Cruel Reality, which is 5 mana, 2 black, enchantment Aura Curse, enchant player. At the beginning of your enchanted player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. If that player can't, he or she loses 5 life. Again, very powerful punishment card. Suddenly you're forcing your opponent, unless you can get this off quick, to sacrifice a creature constantly. It can do a lot of damage very quickly and become very nasty. The final one that I sort of run main wise is Sorin Markov, which is a planeswalker. Only planeswalker I run in stack. He's 3 mana, 3 black. He's +2 is deal 2 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 2 life. And then he's -3, target opponent lose life total becomes 10. And the -7 is you control target player's next turn. If you get him on the field, you can do the -3 ability. Suddenly he's on 10 life, he's on a really bad state very quickly. So I hope you guys like this. It gives you sort of base idea what he runs. If you guys got any suggestions or anything what you would change, let me know on my Twitter account or leave a comment on below. I do read all the comments. Cheers for listening, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching the video. Please remember to hit that like button, it supports the channel for free. Also subscribe, and remember, if you don't want to miss any videos, hit the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.